Hello, everyone. I'm Golda,
And I'm Jamie.
and welcome to the J Gold Impact. So, today we're going to talk about soulmates. Are soulmates really real, right? And what's the second part to
And the
that?
second part is, how do you know if you have a strong relationship?
Yes, yes,
What makes a relationship healthy?
yes. Okay, so diving in. Soulmates. I don't believe in soulmates. And that's just me. Why? Because I just feel like it's a setup. And a lot of times, soulmates are fed to women to have like this fairy tale fantasy, and we feed into it, and many, many things can happen. And we can pass upon a good prospective person because we're thinking, oh, it's not a match and they're not our soulmate. So pass it on. So that's why I don't believe in it, because you know what? You just never know.
Well, I do believe in soulmates and call it what you want, but I do think that there are people who you meet in life who you're just drawn to. Whether it's romantic or platonic, I do believe there are people, angels really, who are in our lives for a reason. And it's sometimes even hard to explain why.
Okay, when I was talking about soulmate, I was talking about relationship wise. You're talking platonic.
I'm talking both. I
Both?
believe in
Okay.
just being drawn to people
All
and
right.
people showing up in your lives for specific reasons.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's the case, that's what you believe. Okay. I'm just talking about soulmate in a relationship purposes, in a romantic setting. So that's why I said I don't believe in them. And
So
again,
then what is your definition of a soulmate from that romantic perspective?
well, I don't believe in them, so I don't have a definition because
But
to,
when you say you don't believe in it, like what do you not believe in?
okay, I don't believe in, a soulmate is one person for you that, everything meshes and it, everything's beautiful. You guys are going to start a life together and live the rest of your life throughout or something like that. Basically, that Prince Charming fairy tale, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that from a jaded perspective. I'm just saying that from a realistic perspective. And I feel like sometimes, you know what? We're set up we're set up by society to feel like, oh, yeah, there's going to be one person that's going to come. You guys are going to mesh, you guys are going to click, and that's going to be it throughout your life. And I just feel like, why limit yourself like that? Because you may have a person who comes into your life and you guys are arguing. You guys can't get on the same page, but over time, you come to some kind of rationalization. And next thing you know, oh, he or she's looking kind of cute, even though it started out as I'm not into that person. So that's what I mean.
Okay, well, I think also it's a great point to make that any relationship will be hard work,
Yes, yes. And
including if it is with a soulmate.
yes, but I just think like that one word, though, it's like a target on your back because, you can decide, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not ready to marry. I'm not ready to commit myself or what have you. And here come Mr. Prince Charming and who looks like your soulmate. And then you're like, I'm not sure. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So then, my question now to you is, and to America, can people be friends with their exes? And I'm talking exes because you're in a romantic relationship and you've broken up. And now here's this person, male or female, doesn't matter. And you've decided, you know what? That could possibly be a soulmate. I'm going to keep them as a friend because I don't know. What do you think, Jamie? Could that situation survive?
It's a tricky situation because I think, yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's possible, of
Mm-hmm.
course, but I think it takes a lot of transparency, boundary setting, and communication to
Whew.
make it work.
All right, here we go with that. See, that's the age. All these technical lingo and all of that. Meanwhile, I'm saying, daggone it, no, 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 no. It cannot because somebody's going to catch feelings and the spouses or the partners or whatever may get jealous because they realize that you've had a past with this person and now you're still hanging on to this person. Why? There must be something still happening. So I'm just giving you the basics.
Okay.
All right. So that's why I say no. I'm a strong no. I don't think that. And if you're still holding on to someone as friendship who you've been an ex, that means you haven't cleared up everything and things are still floating around. Because if you do have part ways with an ex, you should be okay with that, because that should be like a decision to say, okay, this person's no longer my ex, and that's it. And we're not talking about when you have kids with someone, because they're always going to be in your lives. We're not talking about those. We're just talking about strictly no kids, you had a relationship, and you've moved on. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, you just kind of sound like very black and white.
Really?
Like I'm hearing you speak and I'm hearing a lot of should, should, should. But the
Okay.
thing about life, we exist in the gray spaces. It's
Yes, we
not
do.
black or white. It sounds like there are these written rules on your perspective, but it's like rules are flexible, right?
It is.
That's
It
why I
is.
talk about the importance of just communication because everyone's situations are different.
It is. It is. And I just think that, you're still young. I'm a little older, and I've been through some things and experienced some things. And to me, you know what? It's just an accident waiting to happen. And I'm not saying that to be like negative or anything like that. And I'm not trying to be, how do you say, a little bit one sided or something like that, or absolute. It's just experience. It's better to err on the side of caution than not. That's all I'm saying.
But also you are assuming that both partners have moved on. What if you and your ex-partner are both single and okay with the situation of staying friends? Maybe that changes when someone finds a new partner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking. If you're both single, hey, the sky's the limit.
But friends are friends whether you're single or not.
Well, we will agree to disagree. Next.
Okay, so another question that I have here. Ooh, can a relationship survive without trust?
Ooh la 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 la. That's a big one. That's a big question. I would have to say no, because trust is the foundation. I would have to say no on that. What about you?
I would say it's possible, but really, really difficult. And I think that if trust has been broken, both partners really need to actively work together to rebuild that.
But
Both
see,
partners have to want to rebuild.
the thing about trust is it's like you have a pretty cup, right? It's beautiful, everything is fine. But then there's a crack, right? In the cup. And then no matter what, you put it together, and you still see the crack because the trust has been broken. So you have the crack in the cup. So every time you're drinking the cup, you're always going to be reminded. And I say that not because people can't move on or things like that. And here I go again, sounding absolute, right?
Right.
Because trust can be rebuilt, but it just takes a lot. Now you're going against the grain. You're going up a hill
That's what
as
I
opposed
said.
to, yeah. Okay.
I
So
said
we're
that.
agreement. We're agreed.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so next question.
Yes.
What makes someone marriage material?
Oh my God. I am not the person to ask that.
You are, you're married.
I know,
What?
but you know what though?
As the married person, you are qualified.
Okay. Okay, marriage material. Think about yourself first, and then the spouse or the partner second, in a good way. Meaning that whatever is not healthy for you is not going to be healthy for the partner. So if you're not feeling well and if you're not being taken care of, you're not going to want to give, because you know what? There's like a softening and a giving when the other person cares about you and thinks about you. So I would say that what makes marriage material, okay, girls, you got to learn how to cook. I'm sorry. You got to learn how to cook.
Why can't he learn how to cook?
Or well, he knows how to cook too. But I'm just saying, putting the burden on one person is a lot. And a lot of times I hear people are saying that, "Oh, I don't cook." And it's like with pride. And I'm like, no. Part of it is you have to be able to cook and take care of yourself. And that's what I'm saying about learning to take care of yourself
For
first.
both men and women.
Yes, of course.
Let's
I'm
clarify.
not talking about just women.
Okay.
I'm just saying men, you know, women too. But the person has to know how to cook and clean and take care of house and all of that. And then not just dump everything on the other person and expect the other person to take care of everything. And also there has to be some kind of give and take in the relationship One day you wash the dishes, next day he doesn't. Next day he washes it, you wash it. Okay, I know we have dishwashers, so maybe that's a bad example, but it's a compromise. So I think that's what makes marriage material. Being in a position to be forgiving, to be loving, to like compromise and talk. Because sometimes the husband is bad at communication. And then I have to then say, how am I supposed to decipher this? So there is work there to be done.
Okay.
Yes. How about you? What do you think? I know you're not married, but what do you think in your I believe in soulmates and all of that mind? What do you think? Because I want to hear it. Right? Because she put me on the spot, right? Yes.
Sure. So when I think of my future spouse, I
Uh
think of
huh.
someone who will consistently fight to help me feel safe
Okay.
and someone who is reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they will also have their foundation set, meaning
Mm-hmm.
they have their career, they know how to cook and clean. But I
Yes.
think from an emotional level, I just really value people who are emotionally intelligent enough to help me feel safe. So, what does that mean?
Yes.
It means let's communicate.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a disagreement, let's talk through it. Let's be patient. Let's have grace. And let's figure out life together.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I think of someone who's my spouse and if there's a conflict, instead of this person against me, let's solve the issue together. It's us against the problem.
Yeah.
Someone with
Yeah.
that sort of mindset.
Yes. Yes. And also another thing too, which I see in a lot of relationships, both parties need to realize when they come together, the grass is always going to seem greener on the other side. And at the end of the day, you realize it's not. And so sometimes, if you fall for that other side of the grass, you end up with nothing. And vice versa. So, you know what? The grass always looks greener on the other side. And that's like a saying that they always say, but once you're in a relationship, something's always going to seem better, something's not, etc., etc. Just be careful that you don't underappreciate your spouse and always think like, oh yeah, the grass is greener on the other side, because that's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Okay. So what's our other question? Do we have another question?
Oh,
Yes.
let's see.
Marriage material. Yes, I love that.
So, my final question
Uh
is,
huh.
do most people marry too young and have kids too soon
Whew.
in a marriage?
Okay. You know what? Are we talking America or are we talking the rest of the world? Because I do find, okay, we'll stick to America. I do find back in the days, they used to, I would say, yes, people were getting married too young and having babies too early. But now what I'm seeing is a shift where a lot more women are putting off getting married a lot longer and having babies, and they're extracting their eggs and freezing their eggs and so on, because why? They're put in the career and all of that stuff before a relationship. And you know what? Sometimes, yes, we're young, we're pretty, and things are great and so on and so forth. But if you're not careful, there will come a day when everything's old, your perspectives shrink, and there goes the marriage. So, if you believe in marriage as an institution, that is. Yeah. How about you? What do you think?
I think it depends.
Uh huh.
I think some people, have dreamed of getting married and having children since they were little.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that some other people just don't believe in marriage, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
But for the folks who are getting married, I think I am also seeing the trend of people waiting
Yeah.
because of career or just because they want to be more intentional.
Yes. Or sometimes, like we said, when we did an episode of the dating seat, America, what is wrong with these men? you know? That's all I'm saying, because a lot of times we see that these men, okay, I say men because, we're both women and we're talking about that on that end, can't get their act together. So that's probably why we're seeing a lot more marriages being later and later in life. So, yeah,
Well, okay then.
yes, yes, yes. And I'm not going to debate that, because I do think that women are waiting a lot longer. And just be careful, because, if you wait too long, then the need, it's like you're so used to yourself, it's hard to get along with someone else, and you want what you want and you're not willing to compromise. So that's a negative shift that can happen in that regard. So yeah, we shall see, but I do say it's taken a little longer. Yes.
Alrighty. So, if you liked this video, please give us a like and a comment.
Yes. And you know what though? Soulmates. I still don't think they're a thing. You know what? And America, we have some work to do because you know what? We got to just do our thing and find our own male, female, whoever your preference is, and forget about soulmates because that's like a trigger word that people just use as crooks, in my estimation.
I think it's a trigger word for you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is because I don't believe in them, right? So, yes. So, like we said, drop us a comment, give us a like, ding, and hit that notification button and the subscription button.
Yes.
Yes. And until next time, we will see you.
Bye.
Bye.